It is the granddaddy of the desert swing, the third and final tournament in the European Tour's early season Middle East adventure. It is destination Dubai for one of the Tour's crown jewels. Majlis is the Arabic word for meeting place, and as always, a world-class field meets on the magnificent Majlis course at the Emirates Golf Club for the Omega Dubai Desert Classic.
When you look back at the history of champions here, you know, pretty much everybody that's been anything in the game has played here.
Everyone from Tiger to Ernie, you know, through to the modern day Rory, you know, great champions, great winners.
It's a great place to come and play. The golf course is exceptional, it's always in great condition.
It's like any old-fashioned course, you need to shape it both ways.
Driving the ball is important and gives you a lot of options. It's a lot of dog legs, it's important to pick your lines and stick with them.
You know, these greens are in immaculate condition. They're quick and firm. If you can keep it in the short stuff and make a couple of putts, then you know, the best man's going to win.
It's a lovely place to come and play golf. I think all the players are happy to be back in town. The finishes of a great Middle East swing.
And every event that features Rory McIlroy is boosted by his considerable presence. It was here in 2009 that the current world number one captured his first European Tour title. As for the venue, it's one of his favourites.
I've played well here in the past and got a win, so I feel like it's been a while since my last win. It'd be nice to get another one on the board early this season.
But first, McIlroy and the rest have to get the better of Scotland's Stephen Gallagher, trying to emulate Ian Woosnam, Sir Nick Faldo, Colin Montgomerie, Ernie Els and Tiger Woods by winning the same European Tour event 3 years in a row.
You know, I'm under no illusion how hard it's going to be. Only 5 people have done it. It's nice to come back, defending champion. I'm not going to put too much pressure on myself. Just going to play my own game and hopefully come Sunday you're in with a chance.
So welcome everyone to a golfing paradise and a competition that never fails to excite. There's an all-star cast and that includes the Majlis course itself. Expertly designed by Carl Litton, opened in 1988 and a test of every aspect of the game. As usual in these parts, the weather has been perfect. The condition of the course is nothing short of immaculate. And John Hawksworth, that's been reflected in low scoring.
It certainly has, and one of those playing nicely is Martin Kaymer, who doesn't seem to be showing any sort of effects from his collapse in Abu Dhabi a couple of weeks ago. 67, 69, 73, the reigning US Open champion goes into the closing round at 7 under, respectable, but not really in serious contention this week. But a man who is, and much nearer the pace at 13 under, is Englishman Andy Sullivan. He started the year by lifting the South African Open trophy, and the confident Englishman has an outside chance of joining Brandon Grace as the second double winner of the season. I like the way he plays the game.
And naturally, the defending champion again finds himself in the mix. Gallagher is 13 under, not to be discounted. Thanks to winning the Nedbank Challenge, Danny Willett has been the Race to Dubai leader since week 1 of the new season. And with rounds of 67, 66 and 70, he's in position to stretch that early season advantage. But John, what of the composition of the final 3-ball?
Well, one of them is former world number 1 Lee Westwood, refreshed by a 6-week layoff. He's put together 3 rounds in the 60s as he tries to finally win this tournament, where he's been so close on so many occasions without quite lifting the trophy. I'd love to see him win it. Also there is Denmark's Morten Oren Madsen, who shot 63, the lowest round of the week so far on Friday, and then followed up with 66 to stand at 16 under par. Even so, he's 4 shots adrift of the man who's in ridiculous form.
Yes, to no one's surprise, that's McIlroy, who set down the ground rules during a first round 66, in which his approach to the 8th was one of many highlights. That was good, but next day the 4-time major champion was even better as he took the 36-hole lead with a bogey-free 64. He was in the pink in more ways than one. And there was more of the same in the 3rd round, as rampant Rory tightened his grip with another 66 that featured a spellbinding front 9 of 30. On this form, he looks unstoppable. But after Charles Schwartzel and Martin Kaymer squandered big leads in successive tournaments last month, you can rest assured that McIlroy will be taking absolutely nothing for granted. There's a little more wind for the closing 18. The greens are firm and extremely fast, but Gallagher was hoping to have their measure on the 6th as he targeted a birdie to balance the books after dropping a shot on the 1st.
Mind you, Gallagher's troubles at the opening hole were nothing compared to Madsen, who visited the same bunker twice in running up a triple bogey 7. What a way to start. Heading in the opposite direction, though, is Sweden's Alex Noren, who's been out for 6 months with a bad wrist injury. Birdie in the 1st, the 3rd, and then here at the treacherous 4th down the hill. Water on the right. Well, he makes another birdie and quickly moves to 15 under par, and it's great to see him back. Now, measuring 485 yards, the 6 is the longest par 4 on the course. The green is narrow and well defended, but Sullivan, who missed the fairway to the right, hits this incredible shot. He coaxes the ball up the green, and he would convert this putt and move to 15 under. And how he enjoyed that.
Sullivan says he was inspired to compete at top level by Lee Westwood, and the man himself has been inspired so far today, grabbing birdies on the 1st, 3rd and 5th as he tries to place frontrunner McIlroy under pressure. But it doesn't seem to be working. After that birdie at the 3rd, McIlroy made 3 pars to remain in command. Although not quite as sharp on the front 9 as in previous days, he was still doing more than enough to keep the chasing pack at bay. Mind you, after 42 holes without making a bogey, McIlroy missed the 7th green to the left, couldn't get up and down, and dropped his first shot since Thursday. Irritating, undoubtedly, but no cause for panic, because after a safe and sound par on the 8th, McIlroy was exactly where he started the day, 4 clear, albeit now from 3 players: Noren, Italian teenager Renato Paratori, and Westwood, who bogeyed the 6th.
And he's in a bit of bother here, Westwood, because this is juicy, this rough. Water left if you get it wrong, or you can squirt it right. He's not caught that properly, I don't think. And, oh dear. Well, red hazard. Oh, he's furious.
Not furious, very happy, and with great mental fortitude after Abu Dhabi, Martin Kaymer, this for a 63.
Well, it's nice to see him, if you like, back. I mean, what a shock it must have been for him in Abu Dhabi, where he led by 10 at one stage. Now, McIlroy, just watch this for in action. Just looks so easy now.
Can I ask you a question, John? How good is he?
Well, how good is he? He's awesome. I didn't think I'd see anybody as good as Tiger in my lifetime, but I have to say I think he's much better and a much better driver of the ball, which makes a huge difference. Paratori at 11. First par 3 on the back 9, not the longest. 167 yards, and this 18-year-old is causing a bit of a stir.
Well, out of the Q school, he's performing superbly. Now, what about Morten Oremassen? Fantastic, really, when you consider after that 7 on the 1st, he made a birdie on the 2nd, and also a birdie on the 3rd, since then all pars. And he's got that to be out in a level par 35.
Yes, he's a very strong lad, and he must be quite mentally strong to get back from that triple at the 1st. Nice to see Alex back, as I said, 6 months out with a wrist injury. It's trusting again, which can be a problem. He's playing some good stuff this week, played well in Abu Dhabi.
Now this week, the 9th has caused more bogeys and more double bogeys than any other hole. And Lee Westwood made a 6 here yesterday. If he doesn't get up and down, history will repeat itself, John.
Yes, indeed. I was a bit surprised he went the elevated option there. So he's got that left for a bogey. As Noren tries to slide this should move a little bit from left to right. Gosh, that's quick from there. Is that going to reach? My word. Look at the pace on those greens.
Well, the official pace is 13.6 on the stimp meter. I think as the sun beats down, they're near a 14.
I used to love putting on these greens. I'd never seen greens like it until I got out to the desert. And, well, they're absolutely superb. You can't blame the surfaces.
Paratori, one of the quickest players you'll ever see, and that was one of the quickest putts I think he's encountered in his brief European Tour career.
Yeah, it's always been a really quick green 11. So's this one on 9 because it tilts from right to left as you play the hole. Get in. Yeah, well done. Very good from Madsen. So he's out in 35. And to get out and level after that start is a really good effort.
Paratori. Stroke wasn't the best, was it? A little bit wafty. Hates it. Had a birdie chance, and he's coming off with a momentum-stopping bogey.
Well, Westwood has missed for bogey, and I tell you what, this will get his attention. Just left half and firm. Well, it's a 6. All that good work done early in the front 9 has been damaged.
Westwood's challenge fades, leaving the fighting Madsen and his fellow Scandinavian Noren as McIlroy's closest rivals. Still though, McIlroy is very much the master of his own destiny. One symbolic colour dominated the scene at the Emirates Golf Club on the Friday of Omega Dubai Desert Classic Week. In a concerted effort to raise awareness about breast cancer in the United Arab Emirates and beyond, players and spectators alike were literally in the pink. There were even pink flags on the greens, and everyone entered into the spirit of sending a message. And that included, top of the bill, Rory McIlroy. It was a grand show of solidarity, and now in the final round, it's a grand show of golf, with Morten Ora Madsen demonstrating great character in recovering from a 7 on the first to be out in level par 35. And John, his drive on the 10th, wasn't too shabby either.
No, 549 yards. A slight dogleg to the right. He's been pushed back over the ears. Very small green. Of course, playing with Westwood and McIlroy, who's going with the 3 wood. Just watch the release of the club here. It's just a thing of beauty. He doesn't look too pleased with it. Now he needs to lie down there. Might restrict him reaching the green, but nevertheless, it's a swing I just love watching.
Now Westwood needs to clear the cobwebs after that 6 on the previous hole. Venom through the ball there, and that works out just fine. Well, thanks to his superb 64, Martin Kaymer leads in the clubhouse. McIlroy continues to be well clear, but then it's bunched with Andy Sullivan, one of those knowing that a low back 9 is essential.
He's got a pretty tidy short game. Up and down here, he'd be annoyed if he doesn't make 4. He's been aggressive with that shot. Beautifully played. Get in.
Last month won the South African Open, but on Thursday, playing together with Rory McIlroy and Martin Kaymer, he said it was the greatest day of his life.
And he beat them. So you can't argue with that. Noren now, up the hill. Tough par 4, this 12th. Can't see the bottom of the flag out of the fairway. Wasteland up the left and right. By his own standards, that's pretty average.
Now here's a man having a great desert swing. Bernd Wiesberger from Austria. Tied 6th in Abu Dhabi. 3rd alone in Qatar. And very much on course for, at the very least, another top 10 here.
Yeah, he seems to improve massively this year. I mean, I know he's had a couple of wins, but he's becoming more consistent, which is what you look for. This man's only just starting out on his career. Alberto Benaghi, who coaches Matteo Manassero, is in a rough time at the moment, says keep your eye on this guy, it's going to be big news.
Well, McIlroy has been fortunate. The lie doesn't look too bad at all.
He's going to have strong arms though to move the club through here. He's trying to draw it. He might be thinking bunker's not a bad shot, and that's exactly where he's going to finish, and because it's landed short it hasn't plugged, so that's fine. Sensible. Not sure on the outfit today.
Alex Noren. He was saying he was a little concerned on Thursday when he went in the deep rough because of the wrist problems he's had. But it held up perfectly well. So did that putt. And he's in there fighting. Enjoying every moment. I think the absence from tournament golf has given him a new perspective on it.
Yeah, but well, he's been forced to step away. That's a smooth swing there from Andy Sullivan at 11. It's a hair downhill, this par 3. Good shot. It's a quick left to righter though.
Yes, only playing 153 yards today. Now here's the simple but very effective swing of Stephen Gallagher.
Defending champion, of course. And retained it from the year before. Gets in. Oh my word. Well, we've seen a hole-in-one here before. I think it was Alvaro Quiros when he won. And that was so close.
Now, technically, John, what do you make of this bunker style?
Well, I've got to be honest. It's not one to copy. And I think that shot shows that maybe a department he needs to work on. His stance is far too wide and he's a bit short and jabby. But his whole swing is a little bit like that.
Now we know just how quick this putt is. We've seen it before.
This is a really hard putt to lay dead. But he's done it. Very good from Wiesberger.
Now this hole owes McIlroy. Yesterday he missed an 18-inch putt for a birdie.
The difference in styles there from Madsen to McIlroy, who's just caught it a hair thin, but narrower stance, slightly longer swing, more conventional, I would say.
When he won the SA Open, Andy Sullivan was 4 behind Charles Schwartzel, 5 holes to play. 4 behind here as well. He won't be giving up, but that was a real chance missed.
Great second shot for Westwood to get it hole high. Must have been a high iron shot in here. It's going to move from right to left. After closing the front 9 with a double. No, steady now, settle. Ooh. Well, that's a good 3 feet by the look of it. Yeah, it is. Your left half as well. Now then.
Madsen to go under par for the day. What an achievement that would be. Quite enough pace.
Well, you'd have to say the trap shot wasn't his best.
Now Graham McDowell making his first start of the season. Looked a little rusty on the greens yesterday, but that chipping remains imperious.
Yeah, he's always had a great short game. Very confident putter. His routine stays the same. McIlroy now will be annoyed if he doesn't knock this in. He'd be thinking 3. Well, he has done. He's done that so well all week. This is the place where he got his first victory in 09.
Westwood next week. It's off to the Maybank Malaysian Open, where he defends the title after his runaway victory last year. Here he's 15 under, but McIlroy's 5 clear. Mind you, he won't be complacent. When he triumphed in 2009, he was 6 in front on the 13th tee and only won by a single shot. The chasers need something spectacular though, and that's what Gallagher produced on the 12th. He would also birdie the 13th, but bogeyed the 15th. As for Madsen, he stayed stubborn with this unlikely birdie on the 12th to reach 17 under.
Now Westwood birdied 10, but at the 12th, he fell further back with a bogey, and after his drive found the wasteland at 14, and he had a couple of shots in there. You would have to say that he was pleased to salvage par, but really his title hopes have gone again for another year. It also looks like being too late for Noren, but second spot is certainly up for grabs, and a birdie on the tough par 3 15th would carry him to 17 under par. Surely not. Well, how fantastic is that for him? And that's what he's probably looking at best, second, the way McIlroy's played.
Yes, back on the 13th after a towering 235-yard 5-iron, McIlroy was hoping for an eagle to land. Instead, a tap-in birdie intensifies the feeling that his 10th win on the European Tour and 16th worldwide as a professional is now imminent. And if he plays the last 5 holes in 1 under, he'll set a new record score for this event at the Emirates. A bogey on the 15th has seen Madsen slip back into joint second with Noren, but in a league of his own, it's McIlroy. Prospect as sunny as the weather. More from the Omega Dubai Desert Classic in a moment. Welcome back to the winter sun. Yes, it really is winter here, and the final round of the Omega Dubai Desert Classic, where Rory McIlroy is showing no sign of vulnerability. The world number 1 leads by 5 from Morten Ora Madsen and Alex Noren, who's about to tackle the 17th.
Interesting play here. Now, you have a couple of choices. You go with iron at the bunker down the left, or you have a go with a driver or a 3-wood. And I can't believe that he had enough club there to reach. No, he's just got it up the left-hand side, which is very good indeed.
Now, Robert Rock needs a top 10 finish to get into Malaysia next week. This, though, on 16 for par. Well, the hole's been extended by 11 yards this year to 436. And today, it's been the toughest on the golf course. Only 3 birdies yielded.
Yeah, it normally plays a little bit into the breeze. He likes this part of the world. He's won out in Abu Dhabi before. Not the best of seasons last year, but once that calendar turns over, you forget all that.
I'll tell you what, John, collectively on the Desert Swing this year, the scoring has been amazing.
Yeah, well, they're very good, you know, and of course the weather's been nice, the courses are absolutely perfect, and the ball goes miles. But you've got to get it in the hole, and they're very good at it. Now then, here's this, what I would call dodgy bunker style again. It's a little bit short and jerky for me. I'd like to narrow his stance down a bit longer in the backswing. It's all a little bit hurried.
There's 17, another of those greens that is speedy. In it goes for Noren. This is an extraordinary comeback.
Well, it is. He's showed some form over the last couple of weeks, but this looks like it's going to be his best finish of the year so far. Madsen now, it's easy to leave this in here if you don't accelerate the club. Well, he's done actually pretty well from where he was. There was a bit of hit and hope in that, because it's like broccoli.
1 hole in front on 16. This is where Stephen Gallagher holed for an eagle 2 in that battle with Richard Sterney for the title in 2013. That for par, 2 years on.
Yeah, it was a little belly wedge he played there. Hit the ball halfway up so it doesn't get snagged the club on the way back. To 15 now. Now this isn't the easiest of 2 putts. A little bit of changing colour of the grass, which is the grain. recent years they kind of brush the grass before they cut it to try and take some of it out. Now you see it goes dark, which is into him, and then it goes light, which is away from him. That is not his best.
When he lost the Masters in 2011, he was 4 in front going into the final day. 4 in front here, but demonstrating no sign of weakness. Well, an up and down back 9 for Andy Sullivan. It was a birdie on 13, a bogey on 15. Should be a par on 16.
Back to 15. Madsen and Westwood have both bogeyed here, but Rory makes it a regulation 3. Really, the last 3 holes, maybe 16 might present a problem, but not really.
Noren second alone. With a bogey there, Madsen is now tied 3rd with Sullivan, while McIlroy leads by 4.
Now here's something to watch. Just watch the explosion. Oh, stars out. I'd be on a stretcher if I tried to do that. It's just a thing of beauty. When you look at how good Tiger was, he never drove it as well as this.
First in driving distance this week, just an average of 318 yards.
Yes, it's ridiculous, and that's really without any run.
Well, Robert Rock made the cardinal sin there. Laid up off the tee, but went into the left-hand bunker, and that's resulted in a bogey. He is hot at the moment.
So back to the tee. Stephen Gallagher, I think, is going to have to give the trophy back. But he's having a go. Now then, you've got to go a lot further right. The crane is not the line at all. I hope that's going to draw a little bit. Wow, I've never seen a ball set off down there before, and it was nearly very good. Well, you won't know where it is.
Well, club of choice here, a Trion.
So at times like this, you wish you had a chainsaw in the bag. Not a bad shot, actually. He didn't want to do anything silly and risk hurting himself, so doesn't look too pleased about it, though.
Now Sullivan taking out the driver. All 4 rounds under par in Qatar last week. It's going to be all 4 rounds under par here, you would assume. And a little like Stephen Gallagher, when the ball goes into that rough, it just stays there, sticks.
Well, it's not too bad because the pin's up the left, so, you know, it's not that fiddly. McDowell coming to the end of what you would say is a very good week, although he's had a bad run in the middle of his back 9, but it's going to be around a 70 and encouraging for the rest of the season.
Yes, watch out for him at Kuala Lumpur Golf and Country Club next week as he heads to Malaysia. Now it looks as though McIlroy, at the end of today, will have 7 consecutive top 2 finishes on the European Tour, and that breaks Sevi Ballesteros' previous record of 5 consecutive top 2s. 3 wins, 3 seconds, John. That's a decent career.
Absolutely is. And what is he, 25? Gosh. I don't know what he's going to achieve, but I'm enjoying watching it. Now, Noren, he's laid up. You've got to watch the spin here because the green tilts from back to front. There's a bunker behind the pin. It's the narrow part of the green. Now spin a little bit. Oh, very nice. Well, that would be 3 birdies in the last 4 holes if he could convert.
Madsen is a very dedicated practicer. Had to be coaxed into taking a week off over Christmas from hitting balls. Just never stops.
Well, it certainly paid off. Had a great 63 earlier in the week. He's put in a good performance now. This is right of 17. Important to keep the club accelerating here. There's plenty of green to work with. And that chip in on 12. I'll tell you what, he made a good job of that as well. Steady now. Look at this pace on those. That's still gone 3 feet past.
Madsen for par on 16. The drive to blame, really, if he bogeys.
Always tough. Putting through a shadow. Go on, get that. Oh. Yes, I bet he can't believe it. He's been warned a couple of times today about the pace of play, which can be off-putting.
We saw Andy Sullivan's drive finish in the thick rough. He pitched to here. The putt looked good, John.
It did, and I was just going to say, he's got one of the best putting strokes I've seen. Very confident. McDowell's is good, but Sullivan's is excellent.
Now, what about the swing of Alex Noren and the way he goes about things? Old-fashioned player, isn't he, John?
Well, yeah, he's got very low hands. He's coached by Pete Cowan. Get in. Well, that's brilliant. He's had a good desert swing. He might even finish second.
Well, he's currently playing on a medical exemption. I think the money earned from Qatar and now here in Dubai over the last 2 weeks means his card for 2016 is already under lock and key.
Yeah, and of course he'd get in Malaysia next week, but I don't think he's going to go. We'll see. McIlroy now to give himself even more of a cushion. Get in. Oh, it's just dived at the hole. When you look back to 12 months ago, where he was with his game and mentally, how he's changed in a year.
Gallagher has this to join Sullivan on 16 under. Yes, and a tie for third. He just loves this place.
Yeah, it's amazing. He just comes back here and obviously feels extremely comfortable. Now, this is a touch longer than I thought. Should be left, centre. Well, hold. 22 under, 3 ahead.
Looking calm and with every justification. You know, to McIlroy, his failure to win since the US PGA Championship in August feels like a drought. But that's surely about to end. He's 3 clear, only 2 holes left to negotiate. Almost home and dry in the desert. On the pristine oasis in the desert that is the Emirates Golf Club, Northern Ireland has 2 players on the leaderboard, because with a birdie on the last, Graham McDowell has squeezed his way back into the top 10 following a costly double bogey on the 16th. Earlier today, Spain's Alvaro Quiros made a hole-in-one on the 4th, and at the 11th, the title holder Stephen Gallagher so nearly followed suit. But Gallagher and all of the others at the business end of the tournament haven't been able to unseat Rory McIlroy. Through 70 holes, he's made 24 birdies while throwing in just 2 bogeys. That's a difficult combination to beat, and the reason why last year's Race to Dubai kingpin is the champion-elect. With 3 birdies in the closing 4 holes and a 65, Alex Noren did his best to prevent a runaway. But 3 clear standing on the 17th tee, McIlroy can smell victory and afford to be conservative.
And that's what he's being. Oh, I was hoping he was going to have a real old dig with a probably 3 wood for him, but this is just up the left towards the bunker. Lovely shape. I watched him in Abu Dhabi Sunday morning warming up, and I have to say it was the best striking I've ever seen from anybody, ever. And I've seen some good ones.
At the end of this tournament, he's going to be well clear as world number 1, and we're going to have 4 Europeans in the top 10 of the world rankings.
Oh, that's impressive. Danny Willett. Oh, no birdie to finish with. Round of 72. 13 under par. The man who leads the race to Dubai at the moment.
Now, I told you that Rory McIlroy was top of driving distance for the week. He's 5th in greens and regulation, over 83% found. But by his standards, that wasn't the best.
Super cautious. Or actually just the wrong club. Now Sullivan teeing up on the right, is going to try and sling this from right to left up 18. Thick rough down the left and a bank. Needs a little jump forward, and that's... No, hang on there. There's a plaque down there. There it is, where Monty hit a driver from in 96 over the water to win.
Pablo Larrazabal won in Abu Dhabi 12 months ago. This for 12 under in this event. Has a very busy schedule, loves competing, and do not be surprised if Pablo comes good again in 2015.
He's a nice guy, Pablo. This is a little bit awkward. Got to catch this cleanly. Wasteland, which is raked at night, and then, of course, the crowd and everyone walks through it and settle down. You have to play it as it lies, basically.
Madsen could do what Robert Rock did, a bogey on 17. He was livid with that. Can he repair some of the damage? Well, approach with caution for the next 15 minutes or so.
Yeah, he's played some of the best golf all week, though. Now, let's see how his chipping action is. Line the face open. Well, you'd have to say clumsy again. He's degreened it. Well, at least he's getting nearer.
Just from the semi-rough, that might compromise control a little. No spin whatsoever. Oh, and it's just tiptoed back into the bunker. Going down the hill towards the water. Not recommended.
No.
So Sullivan fighting for his par and to stay in a tie for third. McIlroy, though, 3 clear. That said, no lead is big enough and he'll want to avoid a 3-putt here.
He's got a couple of grass colour changes. So it's into the grain for his first part. Now it's down grain, which will be quicker, and he has not judged that very well at all. And it's, in fact, that's a really poor putt. 8-9 feet short.
Surprisingly, he's never broken 70 in the final round of this tournament. Now Madsen to avoid a hat-trick of bogeys.
Awkward with the fringe. Well, he's not interfered with the backstroke. What an escape that is. Well, he's been gutsy at times today, and he's needed to be.
And I think gutsy is a good word to describe the way you need to be with this shot. Three or four times today, Sullivan has produced bunker magic.
I think I seem to remember in 09, didn't McIlroy have to get up and down from that bunker to win?
He did indeed, to beat Justin Rose by a single stroke. A little more comfortable this time.
Shouldn't be outside the hole, this, I don't think. He struck it beautifully. Get in. Well, that makes it a lot easier going up 18. Noren's in the clubhouse at 19 under. And he needs 7 to win. And I think he'll manage that.
Now Gallagher, if he holds this, third alone will be his, you would assume.
He's made a very good job of that. He was the first man to defend this title, and he's put up a great challenge again this week.
Hasn't he just? A Ryder Cup man now, that's on his credentials, and I think at the age of 40, we've not seen the last of him on a winner's podium. It's been a great week for all concerned, and the crowds have been loving it.
Yes, it's grown in popularity. Can't believe it. 1988 was the first time we came here for a part. Oh, that'll hurt. And financially.
McIlroy, though. It's a great feeling, this. Mind you, you know, the Alfred Dunhill Championship at Leopard Creek a few years back, Ernie Els needed a 7 on a par 5 with water involved. Took an 8, and John Bickerton lifted the trophy, so the job's not done yet.
Yeah, I think we're talking of a different guy, though. And it'd be nice if Lee Westwood could close out with a birdie. He's 1 over for this back 9. Bogeying 12 and 15, which is, well, annoying.
Well, after the drive found the rough, McIlroy laid up to here, so one more good swing.
And he won't be flirting with the water, I wouldn't have thought. Very sensible, good course management. All right, it's quick. Downhill left to righter, but he's got plenty in credit.
As you say, John, at the age of 25, a phenomenon. And he's now 4th on the all-time European Tour career money list, leapfrogging Harrington this week. Only Colin Montgomery, Ernie Els and Lee Westwood are above him. The first prize here, €379,000.
And I think when McIlroy's on his game, which he certainly has been this week, he's virtually at the moment unbeatable. I think he's that far ahead of the rest. Tiger set the benchmark, and now Rory is setting a different one as he coaxes it down. Beautifully done. And it's going to be a much less strenuous win this time than it was in '09.
Next up for him, European Tour-wise, WGC Cadillac Championship at Doral. And then, of course, in April, chases the career Grand Slam at the Masters.
Yes, I can't wait for that. The pressure he'll be under. Left to right here for Madsen. No, that can't stay up. Well, it's been a very indifferent day, you would have to say, for the Dane. Started 4 back, got off to a terrible start, got it back to level par, but it's around in the end. 73.
As for Lee Westwood, he made a great start, 3 under through 5 holes, but then a bogey on 6, a double bogey on the 9th for the second day in succession. Also on the back 9, bogeys on 12 and 15. This to ease the pain a little. Level par 72 to close, not what he wanted. But for his first start of 2015, not bad.
No, very encouraging. And for Rory, it's the easiest of wins and could have been at an absolute canter. He still wins by 3 shots, and look out. I don't know what he's going to achieve this season, but I think it's going to be something extraordinary. Brilliant.
You run out of superlatives to describe McIlroy. It was a stout defence by Gallagher, a gallant effort from Noren, but quite simply, there was no stopping magnificent McIlroy.
I felt like I was finishing second every time I was teeing it up, so it was time for a change, and obviously the only way I wanted to go was one better, and thankfully I was able to do that today.
So, yet another prime piece of golfing silverware wings its way to McIlroy's bulging cabinet, and he climbs from 10th to 4th in the updated race to Dubai that continues to be led by Danny Willett. On this form, though, McIlroy is again a red-hot favourite to place the Harry Vardon Trophy next to the famous coffee pot, awarded to the Omega Dubai Desert Classic champion. It really was a fitting climax to the desert swing. A multinational field assembled at the Emirates, but all eyes were on the top of the bill. And boy, the world number 1 did not disappoint. A rare talent expressed himself at a terrific venue, and both the Majlis course and McIlroy were marvellous.
To watch another European Tour video, click here, and to subscribe, click here.